In a previous video, we talked about what is gastroesophageal reflux disease, or GERD. We also previously mentioned that heartburn was a typical symptom of GERD. In this video, we will go over in more detail some of the common signs and symptoms of GERD. Before we get started, let's just quickly review. Remember that gastroesophageal reflux disease occurs when acid from the stomach frequently bypasses the lower esophageal sphincter, or LES, and refluxes into the esophagus. The esophagus, unlike the stomach, does not have a protective lining that protects it against stomach acid. The main symptoms associated with GERD are not surprisingly associated with this irritation of the esophagus by stomach acid. Heartburn is probably the most common symptom. This occurs when stomach acid irritates the esophagus, leading to a squeezing, burning type pain that feels like it is coming from inside the chest. This can often be confused as chest pain, but the characteristics of GERD are that the pain frequently occurs after or is made worse by meals, and that it can be worse at night while someone is lying down. Sometimes, stomach acid can reflux all the way up the esophagus and into the back of a person's throat. This is called regurgitation. When this happens, the individual tastes a very sour, acidic fluid in the back of their throat and might even have the sensation of something coming up their esophagus. These symptoms are also worse after meals or with lying down. You can imagine that if GERD occurs for a long period of time, the esophageal lining can become so irritated that it becomes painful to swallow. Constant irritation of the esophageal lining can also cause it to narrow, making it more difficult to swallow foods, making someone feel like something is stuck after they swallow. This is called dysphagia. Heartburn, regurgitation, and dysphagia are the three most common symptoms of GERD, but there are several other ones as well that I will only briefly mention. For example, individuals with reflux have described nausea, indigestion, more frequent burping or belching, especially after meals, and can also develop abdominal pain. Furthermore, the esophagus and the larynx are actually very close and connected to each other. The larynx is where a person's vocal cords are and also leads to the lungs. It is possible for stomach acid to reflux up through the esophagus and reach the larynx, vocal cords, or even lungs. Irritation of these areas can lead to a harsh, coarse voice, or even a frequent dry cough that's made worse with lying down, such as at night. Long-term reflux into an individual's lungs have also been linked with lung disease. Fortunately, gastroesophageal reflux disease, or GERD, is relatively easy to manage and can be treated with both lifestyle modifications as well as medications, which we'll explore in other videos.